One of the ways to remember the difference between personal property and real property is that personal property goes with a person, and real property goes with a real estate. A fixture is personal property that becomes real property, meaning that it was something that went with the person, but for reasons of its association with the property, it now goes with the real estate that is being sold. The classic example of a fixture would be a chandelier, as it is an item that was movable but is now attached to the property. Other examples can be a sink or a toilet. To remember this, remember the name Maria. Can anybody honestly say that name without singing that song by Blondie? Maria, I have seen her. After helping so many people pass the exam, whenever I see a fixture in my house, that song goes in my head. And maybe it can for you too, if it helps you pass the exam. So, what does Maria stand for? First, there is the method of attachment. Is the item permanently affixed to the wall, ceiling, or floor by using nails, glue, cement pipes, or screws? Even if you can easily remove it, the method used to attach it might make it a fixture. For example, ceiling lights. Although attached by wires that can be removed, the lights are a fixture. Next, we have adaptability. If the item becomes an integral part of the home, it cannot be removed. For example, a pool covering is a fixture because that cover goes with the pool, even though it can be easily folded up and put away. Next, we have the relationship of the parties. If the dispute is between buyer and seller, the buyer is likely to prevail. If the dispute is between tenant and landlord, the tenant is likely to win. This comes up a lot regarding emblements. That has to do with crops on the land, and that is something we will discuss in another section. Next, we have intention of the party. When the installation took place, if the intent was to make the item a permanent attachment, the item is a fixture. Lastly, we have agreement between the parties. Read your purchase contract. Most contain a clause that expressly defines items included in the sale and ordinarily state all existing fixtures and fittings that are attached to the property. And remember, what two people agree upon would trump the other rules of a fixture. The most important thing to take from this is that when they ask you about a fixture on your exam, please remember the acronym MARIA. M is for method, A is for adaptability, R is for relationship, I is for intention, and A is for agreement.